Moni Rabbi Sai. Ah! Nishma Simi Rosh Ruspas Mordechai. Hayoim Arba Vesrim Yoim Shem Shlisha Shavuos Ushlisha Yomim Lo Imer. See you Maseches Menachos in Armanot Chen in Bnei Brak. Tons of parking. Kumzitz. Something special. We have something special worked up. Mamish Gevaldik. Come and join. Close to 1,000 people we're thinking. From all over Eretz Yisrael, English speakers, Hebrew speakers. There will be a shir, because it's at night, the shir will be in Hebrew. And we're actually going to do the siyum. We rarely have that there's a full shir, and there's a siyum at the end of the shir. Like, we're going to be Messiah and Masechta right there at the siyum. In Baltimore, there's a siyum. In Manchester, there's a siyum. Rabbi Sai, I want to say a groisi shkoch to Mayor Planka. Here's a case. I'll go back. A few years ago, Noam and I had a shtickle argument about the direction of MDY. I told him that we're daf. We're going to stick to the daf. And he's like, yeah, but you could do a little chumash, you could do this, there should be shiurim. So there's so much on the daf. We don't even know where. And we still don't know where. There's so many different projects. For instance, now, the Gemara project. So here's a beautiful project that Meir Planka was working on. We've been talking about it for a very long time, and he came to a lot of different dead ends. But here's almost a final product that we want to, it's not negate to us, but when you see it, you'll understand the potential. The potential in Yiddish, the potential in all sorts of languages. Let me tell you how it works. There's a person who learns the daf well, he knows the daf well, and he speaks a perfect Spanish and Hebrew. And after he watches the shir once, on the second time, he translates word for word in his voice. You can even hear that the havara of the words are in Sephardi havara, not Ashkenazi yeshivish. And then it comes out a pretty decent product. I never saw it on large. Let's see on the. This is a little faded. He has to get a better quality, but here goes.
Rabbi Say, estamos en Yudale Kamutbet, como a 10 líneas del final, 11 líneas. Y baileo. Olacha shelo beregel shme olacha, o lo shma olacha. Esto es el tema de hoy. ¿Qué es Olacha Shelo Berregel? Caminar sin mover los pies. Moverte sin usar los pies. Vemos aquí, están ahí junto a mis veas, las en shechita. El ruido está. Y
it goes on for 6 minutes. Yes, this is the first sample.
Eso es Olacha.
And we sent it to 3 different Avreichim, and they said it's perfect. It's everything's.
Pero este movimiento
it's really, the shot is good. Everything is good. It's by a Talmud Chacham.
¿Eso se considera olaja o no? ¿Cuál es la nafkamina? La nafkamina, la diferencia es...
He takes all the words, every word, he says over everything I say, he says it in Spanish, and then they translate his voice into AI. The only thing that AI does is changes the voice. To my, it doesn't do the words. The words are whatever he says. He can say 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, holacha, hova. It just changes into Stefansky's voice. And he's been working on it like Meshuggah for months, and this didn't go well, and this technology, they finally came up with this, and this has a ton of potential for Yiddish, for all sorts of things. Yeah. So it's another product. Yishkoyach Meir Planka, Yishkoyach. Send him regards, Doc. All right. So these things are starting to come in. This is from Rabbi Michal Green. Okay? Oh, sorry. Dear Rebelli, I'm a 14-year-old boy who started this year in Avodah of Beis after being positively influenced by my friend Shimi Newman. This kid wrote yesterday, so I was reading, it's a series of a bunch of 12-year-old, 13-year-olds that have been doing the daf since the beginning of Menachos, which is 100 daf. So I got a bunch of emails from kids. And yesterday, one of the kids, he writes that the daf mamish changed my life. This guy next to me, Rabbi Grossman's grandson, started laughing. He almost fell off his chair for 2 minutes straight. he's 13 years old. The Daf Mamish changed his life. And then you had here Binyamin, what's his name, his last name? The one that had a baby boy, the Bornstein. He says, you should know that my baby, he's a week and a half old. He's been listening to Shir for over 4 months now. Since, my wife heard, she listens loud, and she says right now she's listening to Shir with the baby. So the guy screams out, and Mamish changed his life already. Dear Belly, I'm 40 years old. He told me to join for the sake of it, yet I haven't missed the daf since. I'm proud to be making my 4th scene with you and hope to make many more. People should realize what a small suggestion can do, as Shimi's influence has changed my life for the better. Here's another 14-year-old. Changed my life for the better. Why not? Even a 14-year-old can change his life for the better. I hope to see you in Shir live very soon. Thank you for changing my life. Yossi. Maybe it's the same guy writing the same email. I really want to thank you for changing my life. I'm only 13 years old. This is the one. I saw a real change in the last 100 days. Baruch Hashem, since Menachos, I've never missed a day. And some days were really hard. Baruch Hashem. I brought somebody to the daf since Hayres, but now for Chulin, I'm working hard to bring people for Chulin. So my friend that I thought brought me to the daf, he brought already 2 people for Chulin. So this kid is 13 years old. He already has 2 eniklach. And Baruch Hashem, yesterday, I sent an amazing, powerful text message on my 100 days from my flip phone. You don't need a status. To many people, and I'm inspiring them and working to bring them for Chulin. You hear this? You could send something out on a flip phone also. I didn't know that. Baruch Hashem, some of them even have a camera. I heard it. I don't know if it's true. Kach Shemati. Baruch Hashem, the feedback has been incredible, and we're trying to bring as much people as possible in this position. But Baruch Hashem, the impact of as a 13-year-old doing the daf everywhere has been crazy. And I'm really not consistent, so this is huge for me. It's really helping in many areas of my life. Recently, I went to the house of one of my friends to sleep there to be able to finish the daf. I brought a laptop, listening to my earpods, and he asked if he could please join. Ashreichem Yisrael, they can't see someone learning Torah and not join him. Another example. Here's another, Rabbi is another example. Final, this is the end of the email. Another guy, my mom was talking with a friend. The friend told her, my son is not doing that well in learning. My mom told her, my son does the daf and he loves it. Tell your son to try it. And Baruch Hashem, another guy for Chulin, plus many more that we're trying to convince them. Also, I'm giving a lot of nachas to my parents and my grandparents for all that I'm learning. I really was planning to go to the live share. The trip to Israel was canceled. Shkoyach Talmud, Nosen Tzvi Sandler, Shkoyach Nosen Tzvi. This is, I'm just showing it to you guys. Remember the tie-dye? Yeah. That was from Asim Mesechtes Menachos. Unbelievable. 7.5 years ago. And he's wearing, and last night he came, Yeshua Aaron Price, he's giving out coffee, and here he is wearing that thing. Look at the hour-based measures like this. Givaldik. Okay, let's jump into it. Sviras HaOmer, L'Fuas Hadmar, Mevish Shlita, MDY Coffee Corner, Kvoidat Tefillah Committee, Da Lifnei Mi'at HaOmed. I heard that since the head of the coffee committee, the Kvoidat Tefillah Committee, is in America, the Olam is very, very schwach, and the mamish, they're making coffees in the middle of davening, and that's Kach Shamati. I don't know if it's true. We need him back immediately. Official edition of MDY Shas. Chanukah party. Taida is Chanukah party in Prushim. Yeah. Prushim. The Masechta by the Irani, and it was mamish it was the last time we did a family siyum kind of thing for all kids.
It was a family.
By the Iranian Levi families.
I said the last time it was a family.
Oy. These two guys. I have 2 haters here. He laughed you like you're the best joke. Should be crying.
If he's already doing this, maybe he should translate to Canadian also.
Official edition MDY Shas, Masechta by the Iranian Levi families. Perek Anonymous, Lili Nishmas Nachum Tzvi ben David Sholhoif. Zuchron Lebracha. Daf Kofei. Lili Nishmas Imenu Yikoro. Ekayedno Tzipora Bas Reb Moshe Menachem Alel Versatile, dedicated by your children and grandchildren. The neshama should have an aliyah. Settled sponsors: David Salomon, dedicated memory of Avimori, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zuchron Lebracha. Joel Gedalis, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalis. Anonymous Hatzalach Baruch Nizvi Gashris. The Palachik Family Foundation, the Zech Nishmas, Rav Agoy, Reb Shlomo Palachik, the Menach Seilui. Anonymous for Shleiman LaMoshe ben Izah. Anonymous for complete for Shleiman Arichas Yom to Leah Bas Esther. Yisrael Malki. Toilet Torah Spichum Avizov Chesef. We're so proud of Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Send the Gross and family, Canvey Island, UK, in honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almighty, Yossi Mark and Benny, and all the Oiskim Tzorchim DY. Baruch Yishalom Scharim. Ari Simon is a monthly sponsor for Shleiman of a Moiri Baruch ben Miriam. MDY Kids, Kinnovations LLC as a schos for Akiva Simcha ben Fego and Rivka Yehudis Bas Yavachayo. Anonymous. Fushleima Yelad Yeshua Shalom Ben Yocheved Batya is a weekly sponsor and daily sponsors. Anonymous. Lilu Nishmas. Liba Bas Yeshua. Liba Bas Shimon. Fushleima for Shimon Yeshua Ben Sara. Mordechai Sapaznik. The Zechan Nishmas Reb Aaron Ben Reb Yosef. Worthheim Zeichet Tzaddik Levrochem is in Shoma having Aliyah. Daniel Baran. Fushleima Lariela Chava Bas Chana Malka. NDY Art for the month. Fushleima Yohanat Hanetan Ben Beshev Bracha. Refuah Shlema Mordechai ben Esther, Refuah Ayeled Daniel Zeh ben Ayelet Esther. Huh? I said. Said it. Hare Yolai 100. I'm pretty sure I said it. Of course he did. Of course I said it. Hare. How do I know I said it? Because last night I said the wrong one, and then this, and I was sleeping. Okay. We're holding a brand new perek, Daf Kuf Daled Amud Beis. Harei Alai Yisoroin Yovi Echad. This is no chiddush at all. If a person uses a singular lashon, Harei Alai Yisorin, I take upon myself to bring one Yisorin, Yovi Echad, you should bring one. If he says plural, Esroi Nois, Yovi Shnaim. So this is a little bit more of a chiddush, that he only brings two, he doesn't bring more than two. Minimum of the plural is two, and it's not more than two. Pay attention. This case is going to be brought down twice in the Mishnah. Pirashti. Ve'eni yoidea ma pirashti. I said I'm going to bring a mincha, but I have no clue what I said. So, unfortunately for him, Yavi Shishim Esarin. The most the person can bring in one mincha is 60 isarin. So perhaps he said 60 isarin. We don't know. Now what if he said 59, not 60? How can he bring 60? 59 is the chayv. One is an adava. 59 is for his obligation. Let's say he said 30. 30 is his obligation. The other 30 is not his obligation. And they're all in one kli. So what do? You do the classic, which is a t'nai. You say, whatever, if it was 30, so the 30 is my chayv, the rest I'm giving an adava. Whatever my chayv is, that's what I'm giving. And whatever's in the kli, the leftover, that will be, you have to make a condition. Yes, you have to specify. No. Harei alai mincha. What are you going to do? I don't see a second kmitz here. Harei alai mincha. What if a person doesn't say what kind of mincha? So there are 5 classics, and you would bring one of these 5. Yavi ezish yirtza. You bring any one you want. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Yavi minchas hasoilos. No. One. There's the default. There's a default mincha. If you don't specify what, so the default is a minchas soilos, number 1 on the list. Shehi miyuchedesh b'menachos. That's the most special. That's the default. In Hebrew, I learned a new word. I'll teach it to you. It's actually 2 words. Brirat mechdal. I lived there for 13 years, and I don't know the word so well. Brirat mechdal, default. It could be because a lot of people say default. Default. Okay, but if you want to be fancy, brirat mechdal. So if like the cop pulls you over, ani lo yadas ma brirat mechdal. You know, like throw in like a chush of a word. Hamamish think that you're an American. So, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Yavi minchas hasoilos mincha oy min hamincha. So, if a person says, Harei alai mincha, how much is that? Mincha, 1. Or he says, Harei alai min hamincha. He doesn't say mine, he says min. A type of, which is 1, singular. Min is a singular. Hamincha is singular. So here are the 2 cases. Harei alai min mincha. Min mincha is 1. It's singular. Min menachos is 2. That's the next case. Harei alai menachos. Oy min menachos, plural. Yavi That's in his lashon. His lashon is menachos, which means 2, so he brings 2. The Gemara is just going to ask, and actually make a whole thing out of it. What if he says gimel? Harei olai mine mincha. Mine seems like 2. Mincha seems like 1. It's a contradiction in his words. So what do? What do you say?
Types.
So how many? 2?
Minimum is 2. 3 types of minchas.
Okay, so Gemara is going to go through the question, explain it nicely, try to learn from the first case, try to learn from the second case, try to learn from a different case.
Why not say Pavlon?
Huh? Yeah, but we could explain away his words. If it's a complete contradiction, you're right. But we could explain it. So let's see. We'll see the Gemara. I'm just throwing it out here because we just said 2 cases. I'm throwing out the third case so you don't get all famished. Aleph and Beis is in the Mishnah that we just read. Min mincha, min menachos. The simplest of the simple. Pirashti ve'eni yodea ezemem pirashti. I said I'm going to bring one of these 5. I might have said a machvas. I might have said a marcheshes. I have no clue what I said. Yavi chamishton. So, unfortunately, Nebuch, to you have to bring all 5. Now, this seems very, very similar to the first case of the Mishnah. It might be the same. We have machlokes in the Gemara if it's different or not. Pirashti mincha shel Yisroelim ve'eni yodea kame pirashti. I said there's going to be at least 1 Isarin, maybe 2 Yisroelim, maybe 5. Yavi shishim Isarin. So, because I don't know what I said, and the maximum is 60, I'll bring 60. Rabbi Yomer, Yavi Menachos, Sheles Roinois, Me'echod Ve'ad Shishim. Says Rabbi, this is unbelievable. This guy messed up royally. Mamish messed up. Instead of him bringing 3 Yisroinim, he has to bring a Kli that has 1 Isarin in it, because he might have said 1. He has to bring another Kli that has 2. He has to bring another Kli that has 3. And another Kli that has 4, 5, 6, 10, 31. Another Kli that has 52. Another Kli that has 59. And finally, a Kli that has 60. Now, I know Aryeh Simon knows the answer. So how do you do the math? It's very, very simple. The Shita Mekubetzes, Shita Mekubetzes has a whole, look it up, it's go like this, like that. Mamish, this is how we did in Panovich, math for dummies. The easiest way, Mamish, there's a famous story in Germany, Frederick, Gassau, what's his name, the mathematician. The teacher said, how much is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up till 100? And in a few seconds, he said the answer. And the way it goes like this. Let's do 1 to 100. 1 to 100, you add a 1. You always add the 1, so it's 101. And you take that number and divide it in half. That's it. That's the whole way. That's how you do it. So what's half of 100? 50. 50 times 100 is how much? 5,000. You take the number, your total. Let's say I tell you to count. I'm going to do it again. From 1 to 100, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 22 plus 23 plus 24 plus 25 equals, you take the number, you divide it in half, that's 50. 50 times the total number, 50 times 100 is 5,000. But it's not just 5,000, it's 101. So I have to do 50 times 1. So I do 50 times 101 equals 5,050. That's the answer to the questions, 5,050. Now let's take it by us. Very, very simple. We have 60. Rabbi say 60. Our number is 60. So you take 60, divide it in half. That's 30. How much is 3 times 6, just for Panovich people? 18. So it's 30 times 60 is how much? 1,800. But there's 1. You have to add the 1. So it's 30 plus 1 is another 30. So it's 1,830. That's the number. That's the number of Yisroelim that you need. 1,830. Nachamo. No. Oh, it can't be easier than this. It can't be easy. It cannot be.
60 and 1 is 61. 59 and 2 is 61. That's why that math works.
That's why it works. I didn't explain why it works. Exactly. Because you have 30 pairs of 61. It's 60 plus 1, 59 plus 2, 58 plus 3, whatever. That's why it works. Why make them a sugar? You take the number, divide it in half. So it's 60, divided in half is 30. 30 times 60. Then you take that half and divide it by the total number. 30 times 60 equals 1,800. But there's one more number. It's 61. So you take 30 times 1 is 30. So the total number is You don't even need to know the number. It's just super interesting that a guy messed up so much that instead of bringing 1 isarin, he has to bring 3.5 ton of flour to the Beis Hamikdash. He has to bring a truckload of Frederick Gauss. Yishkoyach, right? That's his name, Frederick Gauss. I'll show this video and you'll tell me if it's. We'll decide if to show it or not. It could be insulting. Take it out. Okay, take it out. Editors, take it out. Maskim, fine. Zokti Gemara. You saw I did that, but I showed it to you. Take it out, I showed it to you. But the rest of the world won't see it.
Different from all the other insulting videos.
We don't insult anyone, but no, this is a person has Alzheimer's. It's not insulting. I don't. Lamaisa, they forget. They forget. What are you going to do?
I remember.
Now it's becoming insulting. Till now it was fine.
Listen, for me it's not insulting because Baruch Hashem, I don't have Alzheimer's, but I have something very close to it. Seriously, like my memory is like whatever. So Pshita says the Gemara on the first line of the Mishnah. If a person says Harei Alai Isarain, a kid in kindergarten knows that it means 1. Pshita says the Gemara, you're right. It's the second case that's important, and that's a little bit of a chiddush. Hanami Pshita, that's also pashut. Hard to understand the exact back and forth there. Mil, that's one way to read it. That is a chiddush that not more than 2. That the minimum of plural is 2, but not more than 2. Okay. So, just what did I do here? You have case number 1 in the Mishnah. Pirashti ve'enidem pirashti. I said I'm going to bring a mincha. I have no idea. So the Mishnah says Yovi shishim misarin. I realized something very interesting last night. This time for the people here in the Beis HaMedrash. All the screens are good. Besides mine, the dalet on the va'ad, all the way, the second line from the bottom is missing. In other words, something with the ratio is off on that screen. So Mela, we need a new screen. What?
The screens are beautiful, yeah.
Baruch Hashem, and we're going to get, this is just a test run. Now, Baruch Hashem, we're going to get screens over here. Lamais, if somebody wants to donate the screens, we're open for donations. Okay. So, Zokti Gemara. Oh, and then look at this thing. It says it again. Pirashti Yovi Shishim Misarim. Pirashti, it's mamish the same words. Pirashti, you should bring 60, mamish like the Mishnah. But over here you have Rebbe Oimer Yovi Menachos Shel Yisroinim. You do 1 till 60, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. It's 1,830. So what's the difference between the Reish and the Seifa? Says the Gemara, Mantana, Chizkiah, the Loike Rebbe. Oh, Chizkiah, the Loike Rebbe. The first, the blue part on top, Pirashi, any of them are Pirashi, and it's just one sheet, the Yavi, is not going according to Rebbe. The Rebbe, Rebbe says, Mefurish, you should do 1 plus 2 plus 3. Rebbe no. It's 2 different cases. I feel the time of Rebbe. The case is, the first case is, I said I'm going to bring a certain amount of flour, but I never said in how many vessels. The Maisi Shita Misrayin is B'Shita money. So what you have to do is, you bring 60 Isarin, but just in 60 Kalim. 60. So you don't gain anything in terms of the vessels. You have to put it in 60 pots, but only each pot gets 1 Isarin for a total of 60. Worst comes to worst, what? You said 39? So you take 39 bowls, and that's your thing. You don't have to do in each bowl 2, and then the second bowl 3, and 4, and 5. You don't have to do that. Each bowl is just going to have 1 isarin. Just make sure you have 60 bowls, and then you cover all your bases. Masha'en Kain in the Seifa, he said it was a certain amount, and each amount was by itself in a bowl. So if each amount is by itself in a bowl, so now it's possible 39 isarin in one bowl, 52 isarin in one bowl, 7 in one bowl. So now I have to go through 1 through 60, every bowl a different amount. If I didn't say that the bowl is important, then I could just bring one isarim per bowl. Those are the two cases. Rabbi Omer Yavi Menachos. Sorry, let's do it again. Afilu Tema Rabbi Chanoma Afilu Tema Rabbi. Boimer Pirashi Yisroinos Avalei Kivadim Kli. I never said how many vessels. The Maisi Shitin Yisroinos, B'Shitin Mani. Then I could just bring 60 and 60 different vessels. Harei Mincha Yavi Azish Yiritza. And we had Rabbi Yehuda arguing on this and says no. If I say mincha, you can't bring any one of the 5 you want. There's a default, there's a brirat michdal, and the default is silas. Tana haylu pasvaya kasat chila. What's so chashuv? The Rebbe says, oh, it's shehim yuchedesh Menachos. It's the most important one. Why? So maybe the pshat is we're starting off saying haylu pasvaya kasat chila. The Torah, the first mincha mentioned in the Torah is mincha silas. Wait a minute. If what the Torah says first is the most important, so then every time a person says oila, I'm bringing oila, you must bring a cow, which is super expensive, versus a sheep. If he says minatza in yavi keves, he can't bring a goat, he has to bring a sheep. Why? Because of tchila, because the Torah mentions it first. Min oiv, when he says I'm going to bring a bird, yavi Torah, he should bring a Torah, not a dog. Not a pigeon. Because that's first in the Torah. But the fact is, it says in the Mishnah, the bird says he could bring a sheep, not a cow. According to what you're saying, it should be a cow because it's first in the Torah. He can bring whatever he wants. Rabbi Yehuda doesn't argue. So we have to say pshat. What he says in the Mishnah, that the reason why you bring a silas is because it's miuchedes, it's special. The less lay shem levai. It doesn't have another name. Like if somebody says, I'm doing daf. What does daf mean? Daf means Daf Yomi. It doesn't mean any other kind of daf that you have in Eretz Yisrael, you have in a school, you have a daf kesher, you have a daf this, daf that. No, it's one thing.
When he said dada.
It's Kavachomer. This is interesting.
What kind of sausages do you have to offer?
Sir, we have a Hindi sausage, beef distilled in alpine rosemary and hand-rolled in delicate Persian salt. Or perhaps you would prefer a veal sausage with smoked ebony seeds and a saffron and mountain honey glaze. And there is also a truffle sausage, black lamb seasoning wrapped in edible gold leaves and served on a bed of glass noodles.
Enough with the nonsense! What is your most elite sausage?
Ah, that's an easy one. Now this is a real sausage. No explosive names, no distractions, just the best real thing itself.
Oh, no Shem Levai. Now we know what no Shem Levai means. So, let me just show you in the pasuk, all these jokes and everything, but here, the pasuk. Check this out. Typical mincha in the pasuk says it's called minchas marcheshes. How does the Torah call a soilus? It's not called minchas soilus. It's called minchal Hashem. Soilus yer kurbani. It's not a mincha soilus. It's by itself. It doesn't say the word mincha. Soilus has nothing accompanying it. It's by itself. So Melo, when a person says mincha, he means soilus. But the problem is, you just said the reason is because it's the first in the pasuk. In other words, the main reason is because it doesn't have an accompanying name. That's the main thing. But how do I remember it? It's the first one that the Torah starts off with. Pshita. You're telling me we're talking about soilus. Simona ba'alma. This is Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi said. The tzachadash b'chav. How many people remember the simon he gave 2 days ago? Oh yeah. How? What did you say?
Yadad. Yaza.
Zedad Yahaz. Huh? Ma Tomer? Zedad Yahaz. Get over here. These kids are better than the adults. What's going on here? David, what's going on here? This is crazy. Well, your grandson is... Where's that, Eli? What's your name? Yakovari. How old are you? 12. You're 12? I thought you were only 11. A month ago. Okay, it's not so chashuv because you're already big. You're ready to... I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So how do you remember Yazad What is it again? Zadad Yahaz. How do you remember?
We learned in school also and here.
So what does Zadad stand for? What do you do with the Zadad?
That is 744
744. So what, like 744 what?
of
Meters? No. The kids are gewaldig, unbelievable. You're the only one here that remember that, gewaldig. Maybe you also remembered it? It's Fachem and it's boys. Not you again, Ellis. It's Fachem and it's boys. He's right. No, you and I have no chance. We'll never be. We'll be Reb Chaim Ken. I said, well, we'll be the best we can be. Be the best we can be. Wow.
Thanks, Mom.
I didn't change this kid's life. He's changing my life. I don't know what you're talking about. This kid's on a different level. Okay. So you see them sitting here and they're like, it's going in. It's going. They're absorbing. Rabbi, we got to step up our game. We can't be embarrassed by these 11-years-old anymore. This is crazy. This is nuts. Okay. Yeah. This share is only for adults, by the way. Adults only. Go back to where you came from. Go back to. Don't you have school now? 7 o'clock. What is it? 7 o'clock in the morning. They get up at 6:30 to get it to share. What is going on with these kids? What is going on here? Okay. Mama should read the Sadaris. Dilma kivin do amar mincha chada mincha ka amar. Oh, sorry. Weiter. Okay. Mincha mina mincha. So here's the question again. So let's just see it again. Here are the two. No, sorry, not this one. These are the two cases in the Mishnah. Min mincha. Anybody knows Hebrew? Simple diktuk. Mincha is very, very singular. It means one. Min menachos. It means two, although you could, okay. Boy Rav Papa, mine mincha mahu. What if he adds case number 3 in the bottom, Gimel? He says, mine mincha. So on the one hand, mine means 2, mincha means 1, so what do you do? So the Gemara explains the question. Kivin do amar mine, tired Gemara, it means 2. Umay mincha, but why do you say mincha? It seems like a contradiction and you should do palgin dibura like he asked. No. You know, that's the lashon of the pasuk. You talk about all these menachos, and at the end the Torah calls it in a singular lashon. I have no idea where he is. He disappeared. He asked the question and ran. Okay. Perhaps mincha means 1. Why did he say plural in the beginning? From all the 5 types, I want to bring 1. Toshma. Huh?
They didn't say mimine and talk.
Okay.
Something else.
I got it. Toshma. Mincha. Min mincha. Yavi achas. So, basically, all the Gemara is doing, let's just leave this on the thing for a second. The Gemara says, take a look at case Aleph, all the way on the top. It says min mincha, so, and that's 1. Mashma, let's just do the outside, very simple. Mashma from case Aleph, that if you change the wording a little bit, and instead of saying min, you do mine, it should be 2. Only Aleph means 1, but anything different than Aleph should be 2. So what's the classic Gemara going to ask? But from case Beis, is mashma david. Only menachos is 2, but if you change the wording to mini mincha is going to be 1. So bekitzer, what does Gemara say? You're right. Since I can't go from what? Something like that. Since it's a little bit of a problem from Aleph is mashma that it's 2, from Beis is mashma that it's 1. So we're not going to learn from our Mishnah. Tashma from our Mishnah it says mincha min mincha yav yachas case Aleph. Ha mini mincha, but if I change it to case Gimel, Shtein. Otherwise, it would have said case Gimel in the Mishnah. No, a Seifa, let's learn from the Seifa. Menachos. Min menachos. If a person says, Harei alai min menachos. In that case Beis, Yavi Shtein. The middle case, you'll bring 2. So I could infer, Ha mini mincha, but if I change the wording around, Chada. Ela maha lekol mashma mina. I can't learn not from the Reish, not from Seifa, so let's go weiter. Tashma. But over here, the only difference that changes now is that there's only one case in this brisa. I don't have 2 cases contradicting each other. So I'm going to do the same exact thing again, but I don't have, it's mashma from the Reish like this, from the Seifa like that. Over here, I just have a Seifa. I have case Beis. It says in the Brayso, min menachos alai, yavi shtei menachos min menachot. You bring two. But if I change the wording around to mini mincha, I'll only bring one. Says Gemara, beautiful. You inferred well, but perhaps you should infer it slightly different, and then I don't have a good outcome. That what? You're right. Case Gimel is going to be different than case Beis. What's the outcome of case Beis? That you bring two. So the Gemara wants to infer that case Gimel you bring one. No, maybe case Gimel you bring one, two, total two, but from different types. That's basically what Gil was saying before. Mine mincha, different types of minachas, one from two different types. One marcheshes, one machvas. Whereas case Beis is going to be two from the same type. Maybe so maybe I can't infer it. But we don't learn like that in the Brayso. It says min menachos alai. Where's that? Oh, this I had to do a little surgery myself. Does anybody see my surgery? It's a graft. The case Beis I stuck in middle. I cut and pasted because I couldn't. Yoshi did it in a way, and he's sleeping, so I had to. Okay, but I hope you don't. You moichel me, because I had to extend it also because there's a long nun. You see where it says case Beis in the middle, so the mina is like kind of weird. I just took it from the bottom, pasted it on top. Okay, so what do you have here? Let's do it together. Min menachos alai. Case number 1 on top, case Aleph. Maybe shtei menachos min echad. He has to bring two menachos, but from one type. Mini menachos alai, case Beis. Mini menachos. Maybe shtei menachos mishtei minim. 1 times 2. 1 mincha from 2 minim. I wrote there. Ha mine mincha chada. But our case, harele mine mincha, you should only bring 1. Look. The 2 top cases is 2, but I can infer that if I change the wording around a little bit, it should be 1. Says Gemara Dilma Hamani Reb Shimoni. No, maybe this goes like Reb Shimon. Da'amar. Mechza Chalaz and Mechza Rikikin Yahweh. We had Reb Shimon many times in this Masechta. At least 3. No, I think more. But we had him a bunch of times. So what? That if a person...
Ask the boys.
Oh, yeah. It's like dealing with many Rabbi Didi Kramers when they're 11 years old. You know, the kids, it's hard. Menachem the fencers. So, the mincha, you have 5 menachos. Check out number 4, number 5. Number 4 and 5, they go together. Reb Shimon actually says that you can mix and match. That's important for our sugi now, just to go back a little bit chazara. Chalois and Rekikin. The Tanakama holds no. If a person says chalois, if he says mincha, he can only bring 10 chalois. Or 10 rikikin. Reb Shimon says no. In fact, you can bring 5 chalos and 5 rikikin. You can't do that with marcheshes and chalos or soilas and chalos, but chalos and rikikin you can mix and match. You can do 6 and 4 if you want, 1 and 9, whatever you want. Okay. So in Mela, the wording, this wording could go like Reb Shimon, that what? Harei alai mini mincha. It's different types in one mincha. A chalis and rikikin, mine, and it becomes 1 mincha. Umay mine mincha, mincha is but trei mine. It's 2 types in 1 mincha. Rabbanan amri mechza chalis mechza rikikin lo yavi. Rabbanan hold you cannot mix and match. Maybe shtei menachos, shtei minim. They in fact hold it has to be 2 different types of menachos. Pirash v'nidem pirash yavi chamishton. If a person has no idea what mincha he said, he might have said a soilus, he might have said a machvas. He has to bring all 5. Man, Tana, Amar Rabbi the loik Reb Shimon. This does not go like Reb Shimon. The Reb Shimon came to Omar Mechza Chalos Mechza Rikikin Yavi. Inami Sover Lok Rabbi Yehuda Dama Kol Menachos Boys Eser Ikul Sapuka Ba'arba Esrei Menachos. Super simple. Check this out. What do we have on the screen here? 5 types of menachos. So if a guy doesn't know what he said, he has to bring 5. How many chalos will he bring? 10. How many rikikin does he bring? 10. The problem is, what if he tried to mix the chalos and rikikin? 5 of each. So he has to bring 5 chalos and 5 rikikin. So that's already 6 varieties. And what if he said 6 and 4? So that's 7 varieties. What? The combinations that are available to you are 14 total. Why? the 5 that we have on the screen, but the bottom 2, number 4 and 5, Rikikin and Chalois, you can mix and match. So Lumashal, only according to Reb Shimon, here, you would have to typically bring 10 Rikikin and 10 Chalois. That's normal. But what if he said 1 Rakik and 9 Chalas? So you have to bring 1 and 9. The guy is he allowed to say, according to Reb Shimon, is he allowed to say one Rakik and 9 Chalas? He's allowed to. You're allowed to mix. So he has to bring this. Maybe he said this. The guy who's the guy says, I brought a milch. I forgot what I said. So maybe you said 1 Rakik and 9 Chalas. So bring 1 Rakik and 9 Chalas. But maybe you said 2 Rakik and 8 Chalas. So you have to bring that. That's another variety. And another variety. How many total combinations are there, Rabbi Yisai? 9. Because it's 9 and 1. 1 and 9. So there's only 9 varieties. Plus, there's another 2. 10. 10 and 0 of Rakik, 10 and 0 of Chalos. So that's 11. Plus 3 more, which are, let's go back to the 3 more, the top ones. Soilus, Machvas, and Marcheshes, a total of 14. Is everybody with me? Or we have to do Chazara? Huh? We good?
14 permutations of how we're going to make it.
This, what? How many? What was that word?
Permutations.
Permutations.
Only according to Reb Shimon.
Permutat, yeah. I couldn't believe I was talking like a Sephardi. Shchita, holacha, avah, mamish is unbelievable. Yeah, with the resh.
Very good.
It's mamish good. So I'm saying you do the same exact thing. You get a Talmud Chacham, a Hasidic guy. The whole shir is going to be in perfect Yiddish. A guy comes into the Beis Medrash with a shtreimel, an older Yerushalmi guy, white beard. Maybe Dave can find it. Remy. Okay, Dave. Where's Dave? No. He all of a sudden just blurts out from the back. He goes, "Can I give you a kiss?" And he comes running to the front and kisses my head. Last night, in the middle of the shir. And then, this guy Mordcha, this Yerushalmi guy Mordcha, he goes, "Wow, something I don't know." He says, "You wanted to do it." So I said in Yiddish, I messed it up. I said, "Et gewollt und du hast getut," or something like that, instead of getin, getut. It was terrible. The Safra Chazan, getin. Yeah, okay. So I said, "That's why I don't give a shit in Yiddish, because you're gonna have hundreds of these." So the guy, this Let's again, he says, "It's okay, because the way you speak Hebrew, you can just do it in Yiddish also. It's fine." Yeah, he screamed it out. English is nothing to write home about. Yeah, nothing to scream home about. Abaya Omar. Afilu Tamer Reb Shimon. No, it could go like Reb Shimon. Then what? Nachamol. We said that you could bring five Menachos in the Mishnah. You could bring all 5. According to Reb Shimon, you have to bring 14 because there's another 9 what? Who? What? Combinations. There's another 9 combinations. So it can't be Reb Shimon. He says no, it could be Reb Shimon. Bring 5. Rabbi said bring 5. 10 chalois, 10 rikikin, and make it 9. Say if it was 1 from here and 9 from here, or 2 from here and 8 from there, what's the problem? All you need to do is make a condition. So Baruch Hashem, Rashi, if Rashi does it short, I'm also going to do it short. He doesn't go. It's a little bit of a complicated situation. This guy is having a terrible, terrible day. He's not sure if he's a mitzayra, like a muchlat and a musgar. He's one or the other, and he's not sure if he's a nazir. He's completely confused. Now, no. He is both of these. He just doesn't know if he's a real nazir or a fake nazir. In other words, time out. He's a 100% nazir, but he might have, like the woman on my flight who, after the flight, I said, "What a crazy flight." She goes like, "Why? It was a very good flight." I said, "Yeah, but the guy right next to you died." She said, "What? What are you talking about?" I said, "He was like sitting next to you, and he's dead." She goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." I said, "So what did they do with him?" I said, "They put him in the kitchen." She goes, "Oh, I went through the kitchen and there's a bag there. I couldn't get through, so I stepped on it. I said the story, Noam. You never heard the story?
You also said who the woman was. Whatever.
No, I didn't. I don't know who the woman is. I don't think I know. But anyway, I don't think. So she became Tomei, maybe Misafik. I don't know. She doesn't know for sure exactly what. So this guy's a Nazir. He's 100% a Nazir. Now he doesn't know if he went to when he was in the funeral, did he touch the body? Did he do oil? He doesn't know. So what should he do? Think about it. If he knows for sure that he touched the dead body, what does he do? Gets a haircut, starts all over again. Brings korbanos, starts all over. But he cannot do that. You can't just take a haircut while you're a Nazir. If you're a Nazir and you take a haircut, you're over Issa D'Oraisa. If you knew for sure, okay. So what does he do? Very simple. He waits till the end of the 30 days. His typical Nazir is 30. Waits to 30, gets a haircut, because anyways you would have to get a haircut even if he was a Nazir, and then he starts over again. So he has a total of 60 days. At the same time, he also doesn't know if he's a Mitzayr, Muchlar, or Musgar that can put him in for 2 weeks, 1 week. So is he a complete Mitzayr or not? Okay, the bottom line is you have a guy that's very confused here. And he's supposed to bring, it says over here, L'machras, after day 60 and 61, maybe Hashamai Veluga Ima, you should bring a carbon asham like a Nazir does, with the oil that a Nazir, everybody knows, Nazir, yeah? The famous videos that we have, put it on the finger, on this head, V'oimer. And he makes a condition here. See, Reb Shimon says he can make a condition. Now what? If I'm a Mitzayra, Zeu Hashamai V'zeu Loga, so I'm bringing my carbon asham. Vim lav, Asham zeh yesham in the. If not, my Asham is not a Asham. My Asham is a Shlamim. Now let's think about it for a second. Rega, אתה רואה את השיעור או שהוא רואה את השיעור? שניכם.
מי לא?
קום תראי, נו.
אני רוצה את החנשיקה.
I want to give you I don't know. He walks in and left. Maybe we are Navi. Er hat gewollt und ihr hat getut. Also ich sagte, ich weiß es. Was gesagt? Okay, the Pusha you can take away. Fine, next. So, 1 minute. Time out. Let's think about it. Everybody knows the answer to this. We're just going to do Chazara. Asham is on what category? Kachim or Kachim Kalim? Asham. Huh? Let's ask the 11-year-old. Time out, Ari. What do you say? Kachim. What do you say? Okay, Kachim. I go with the kid. It's Kachim. What's Shlamim? Kalim. So we have a big problem because there's big differences between the two. You can't take an Asham and say, oh, it should be a Shlamim. So you have to be machmer in each one, whatever chumr it has. For instance, Asham, Ton Shchita B'tzafin. A Kachim, a Chatas, an Asham, and a Shalmei Tzibur. You could only do Shchita on the north part of the Azara. A Shlamim you could do in the south. But it doesn't matter. Let's just be machmer and say this animal, since it might be an Asham, let's shecht it only in the Tzafin. And you go through the whole process of a Mitzayru, Matan Bahoinois, and you put the oil on his thumb and his big finger. Blood, the whole thing. Usmicha. Now this is not for an asham. This is only for shlamim. So you lean on it. Unesachim, you bring wine. This is not for an asham. This is only for shlamim. Right? Every shlamim and every oil gets nesachim. Utnuvas chazav v'shaik. This is only for shlamim that you lift up the chaz and the shaik in the ear. You do the whole na'anuim. Now this is for how long could you eat kachim for? Only for 1 day. How long can you eat shlamim for? 2 days. So what do? You only eat it for 1 day. What's the problem? What's the problem if you take something you could eat for 2 days and only eat it for 1 day? Let's see if the 11-year-old knows. Let's see if this is a hard one. I don't know if he knows this one. No, if you take something you could eat for 2 days and only eat it for 1 day, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? What is it called? The problem? It creates noisar. So what is it called? Beis Psul. Exactly. Kachim Beis Psul. Maybe Kachim Beis Psul. So, Vavagav the Mefarik Mar B'Shchitas Kachim. This is Gevaldik. I love this. What does it say? B'Shchitas Kachim, meaning Mesechtes Zvachim. It's another way. In the time of the Gemara, they didn't call it Mesechtes Zvachim. They called it Shchitas Kachim. I'm learning what Mesechta you're learning. Shchitas Kachim. That's the Mesechta. So even though I'm going to do it. even though we already took this apart in Zvachim. When did Reb Shimon say that you could do this all? This is to help a human being that's in a big tzara. He's having a bad day. He's a metzora, doesn't know what to do with himself, and he'll never be able to eat kachim again in his life. So we have a fix for him. But stamazoi, you can't tell somebody make a tanai on your carbon when it doesn't really help anybody. Let's do the sponsor right here. Turning the Daf by Dar Global, specialist in international financial services. Chaim Milrad, Refu Shlema, Imi Merossi, Fradaletel Baschano, B'sich Shar Chol Yisrael. So says the Gemara, this is the answer. Hanamili, Gabi Shlomim, the Kumamad Bachilasan. When is it a big problem and you can only do it when you're helping somebody out to fix his life? It's by Shlomim because you took something, a carbon. You have 200 pounds of meat, and you just said, I'm limiting it. You could only eat the meat for one day. That's a big problem. The expiration date, you shorten the expiration date, it's terrible. By the way, Stama, if you ever come to Israel and you want to buy milk or cottage cheese, so it's a little different than in America. In America, if you want to get something with a long expiration date, you go to the back of the shelf. Here in Israel, you go to the front, because they know that you're going to go to the back, so they put it in the front. Stama, you should just know. So it has a short expiration date. But Menachos,
everyone's laughing because they know every time you got there.
Why? It also has to do with the guy's very lazy and doesn't want to put the okay, fine. Because if they take all the old stuff out, put the new stuff all in the back, kids are okay, fine. They're going to have the question of psul. There's some emes to it, no? A little bit of emes, a little bit of emes. But a mincha, all the menachos are the same exact date. This is, they're all for one day. A mincha you can only eat one day, so I didn't mess anything up. Rav Papa says la baya. Reb Shimon do ma mechzer chalis mechzer kikin yavi. Hakamaisi isarin echad mishnei isarin v'lugach mishnei lugan. So this video, believe it or not, as silly as it is, it's really going to explain the sugya beautifully, because I wanted to bring 2 bags of flour, and I said, you know what, I don't need to, because this guy did a very good job here. Oh my. Okay. Where was it? Here. Basically, think about it. For the rikikin, I have to bring a bag of flour. For the chalas, I have to bring a bag of flour. Where am I doing my kmitza from? I'm making a tanai, a condition, that if I decided to bring half and half chalis, half this, so half should be a neder, half should be a nedava. I have to make a condition. I'm bringing 10 loaves of challah, 10 loaves of rikikin, and I start making conditions. If I said 8 and 2, so the 8 and 2 should be my real thing, and the rest should be a nedava. And if it's 5 and 5, the 5 and 5 should be my real carbon. But I have 2 separate bags of isar. I made my chalas out of 1 bag of flour, and I made my rikikin out of 1 bag of flour. How am I doing my kmitza? How am I mixing it? Here, check this out. This might explain a little bit better than what I just explained.
I need to bring a mincha for chova and a mincha for nedava.
Okay, so we need an isaron of solet and an isaron of yoyin for each one.
What is the chova and what is the nedava? Half from here for chova and half for nedava. And half from here for chova and half from here for nedava. You said one here is nedava and one is chova. How can you divide the kli of solet and the kli with the shemen like that? Oh. I hold like Rabbi Shimon.
Okay. So that's the Gemara. You bring 1 isaron from 2, in other words, 1 isaron for each type. 1 look for each type, for 1 look for the rikikin, 1 for the chalas. So the Gemara is not a problem. That what Reb Shimon holds in a completely different case. Listen to this. A person says, I'm going to bring 1 isaron. He ends up bringing 2 in 2 separate vessels, but he took a half from here and a half from here. L'chayr, it shouldn't be good. you don't have one together. You have a half here and a half here. He says it's okay. So over here also it's okay. As the Gemara, very good, it's okay. Umikman Seichi comments. You don't have the chayvan, you don't have everything together. You have a mixture of chayva and nedava in one bowl, and a mixture of chayva and nedava in the other bowl. Where do you do your kmitza from? The Masni V'Omar makes a condition, if I said I'm only going to bring chalos by themselves, or the rikikim by themselves, the kokamitza mechalos leva chalos, whatever I take kmitza from the chalos should be for the chala, the kokamitza rikikim leva rikikim. But if what I promised was half and half, or whatever combination, the kokamitza mechalos leva mechza chalos, umechza rikikim, whatever kmitza I take, it should be for the part of the nedava and the part of the neder, or the kokamitza rikikin, leva mechza rikikin or mechza chalos. Part of my kmitza will be for the nedava, part will be for the neder. Ask the Gemara, but you need one kmitza from both. This should all be. We said once. I'll just we don't have time here, but you do something like this, petitim, right? You take the challah, you break it up into pieces. You take the thing, and once you have all the pieces of the chalas and the rikin together in one bowl, you do a kmitza like that. But it should be one kmitza from everything mixed in. Shamina l'Rebbe Shemin, Daf Kuvav Amud Aleph. You should have one mixture, not two different kmitzas. Shamina l'Rebbe Shemin Omar, Kometz V'Ol B'Yodim, Echad El Shneim, Yatsa. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.